We're already back.
Already.
Saints Black Pride Podcast. Wanted to come back because got to clear the air a little bit, Ryan. Clear the air.
Clear the
Um,
air.
air.
Feel it in the air.
Oh no. Um, if you're watching this on YouTube, um, please like and subscribe. Got my coffee ready.
Get it.
Um, we this is it's a weird thing. This content world
Hmm.
that we live in. We've been doing this 5 years.
To the month. To the motherfucking month.
Oh shit! Is today our fifth? Is today our fifth? Like today?
I don't know to the day,
Oh
but to
no
the month.
no. Yeah, to the month. I think it's the 18th. I don't know. Whatever. Been doing this 5 years, and before me doing this podcast, I did a podcast with Nick Underhill for about 2 years. So I've been in out the podcast game roughly 7-ish years, give or take. Um, all we like to do, we like to come on here, we like to have fun, talk about the Saints, drink coffee. Ryan likes to smoke his Black and Miles,
Shit.
get all our TikTok videos kicked off from being eligible for you pages. Don't even post them anymore.
Sorry.
I don't really care. It's not. I mean, I will say one of our biggest coups I think we've gotten from TikTok has been our dude Chris, um, super chatter extraordinaire Chris. So, but as I'm starting this podcast off, just think the things what we've done this year. Went to the Senior Bowl, where was able to go to the combine, was able to go to the Big 12 Pro Day. I literally just got back. Literally just got back from the Colorado Pro Day slash NFL showcase, where I got to ask Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders a question, which then kind of trickulated a whole waterfall of like Saints media content for a lot of people out there, which is fine. Like I'm not even upset about that. I'm not. I want to be clear with that. And maybe I think a lot of it has to do with someone asked Wolf, "What's your favorite flavor?" Um,
Regular, man. Just
yeah,
regular. None of
mm,
that wine. None of that jazz bullshit.
yeah, I knew the answer to that one.
Oak vibes, nigga.
Um, and it's funny because when we talk about things, we put news out. We do what we do. It's like, oh, Jordan Schultz will work out. Jalen Monroe work out with the Saints. Private visit. Okay, well, maybe like a month ago. If you're a Patreon and you listen to a Prospect of the Week episode, you already know that the Saints loved Jalen Monroe before anyone else did.
Yep.
Was that did any other podcast or any other Saints person put that out there?
Nope.
Okay. Um, listen, we take any fair criticism, feedback, anyone likes to give that, we're here for it. But one thing that we ain't gonna take, that we are absolutely are not gonna take, is fucking bullshit and disrespect being thrown our fucking way. And it's interesting because I feel like a lot of this has to do with the player in question is Shedeur Sanders. It all ties in together. Um, and he even talked about it at the presser that I was there at for almost 5 or 6 hours. By the way, and then woke up at 4 a.m. to drive to the airport to make sure I had my flight back to LAX. because that's what grinding is really about.
Mm.
Someone, I'm still laughing at the tweet someone put out today. Literally, someone put out a tweet. What at Saints Block Party won't tell you, but what NOF Network will tell you. Like, Kellen Moore wasn't at the pro day. Oh, you know what, buddy? Yes, I'm well aware. You know how I'm well aware? Because I was there. I was on the field. I had a whole ass vest that said photographer on it, bro.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
And there's this. Have we come out definitively and said that the Saints 100% are going to draft Shedeur Sanders? Have we come out and said that?
Never.
Okay, all right. But it's funny because people are coming at our podcast, but let's see, Adam Schefter has come out and recently said it. Out Breer in an
Today.
article.
Literally today he said
Today, last week. Out Breer in an article. Today,
Today.
Daniel Jeremiah hinted it on Up and Adams. Today, but no, but but this, but no, but Kellen Moore wasn't at the pro day. There is a place. There's a place where two ideas of what the Saints may do can exist. It can coexist in the same space. I promise you it can. But one thing we have been beating the table for, we've been on top of since for months, is that the Saints are in the business to add a quarterback in this draft. Has not every indication that they've done shown you that?
Yeah. Don't listen to us. You ignore us. Just look at what the fuck is happening, man. Jesus. It's like, what are y'all talking about, bruh? Have y'all followed the Saints? Like, are y'all new to this? Like, it's out there. Yes, they're interested in a quarterback. They have a quarterback on the roster that does not want to be on the roster right now.
Does not want to be on the roster. Ryan has not wanted to be on the roster since the start of free agency, even probably before then.
Before that.
So we're talking maybe January. Nigga, we in April. I know a date I'm waiting for is that April 14th. Is Derek Carr gonna be there, or is he gonna be at Fresno State scrimmage? I would love to know.
I would love to know that. Yeah, he might. I'm sure he might be with the Saints. He might be in there, but it doesn't matter, because it is what it is. It's crazy.
I purposely did not drink a cut water before recording this episode because I didn't want to demonetize us. But I will say this: keep our names out of your fucking mouth. That simple. If you want to come at us and you want to have a football discussion and discuss and have a feedback and all that, that's fine. We can do that till the cows come home. But don't try to gaslight me and say, "Oh, you're being soft for blocking us for having criticism," when there wasn't any criticism.
Yeah. Fuck out of here. Did you miss me with that? Oh, you can't take criticism.
Oh,
Motherfucker, come in our Discord. We be up 3 a.m. arguing about everything.
every fucking
Everything.
thing.
Arguing, debating, disagreeing, back and forth. That's the whole point. It's fine. It's fun. But when you come at people about their professionality and honestly stuff like Adam came out his own pocket to go to these pro days to get information, to try to find information. Can he Doing that for content, not for clout, not to get patted on the back, not none of that. Doing that just to get good content and get information and spread it out to our viewers, to people that actually like our podcast, that enjoy listening to us, that appreciate listening to our podcast and watching our podcast and contributing to our Patreon and stuff like that. We do it for them. All these little other motherfucking people that's outside don't watch our podcast that just see us maybe on Twitter in passing. I honestly don't care about you, like whatsoever. That's why I love when these things happen and these people come out the wilderness because I just block them and it's like you just feel cleaner. Like just knowing I never have to see this person again. You'll
Just
never
like,
have to see my face. You'll never know any information we put out in the future. You'll never see it because you
oh,
block.
that's
You
oh,
block.
that's not true. That's not true because they got burners. Oh, I've seen it, bro.
Oh yeah,
I've seen
that's
it.
true. That's true.
That's they
And, that,
get they
and
work
that's
it.
just a bad reflection on them. Like,
Bro, they working that Derek Carr angle, bro. It's a
like okay, we putting out bullshit. We putting out bullshit. We putting out lies, but yet you still trying to see what we saying. Like that don't even make sense. The people I don't want to hear from, I don't hear from. They blocked. They're gone. I don't want to see them again. I don't want to hear any
bro.
information.
Bro, do you think if I block someone? Do you think I'm then trying to go to their tweets and seeing what they're saying? Do you think that's like I've ever done that?
Never. Never. Come on now. You think I go check out Adam Sheen's page? That's what Adam Sheen's saying.
Absolutely not.
Years.
Absolutely not.
15 years been blocked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I'm not checking what Aaron Negler is saying
don't
12,
care.
12 years later, bruh. Don't care. Bruh. But is it Matt Miller? Is it Matt Miller who's working at ESPN now?
Yeah, NFL draft scout.
Yeah. He's done blown up, bruh. Done blown up.
Blown up. Don't care.
Don't care, bruh.
Don't wanna,
But
don't
but
wanna.
I will tell you it's a funny segue of if people don't know the story. Jake, our dude Jake, who helped us cover the combine, knows this story because he was on Twitter when this went down. This had to be like what 2012, which is crazy. I didn't tell the story in the podcast we recorded last night. One of the instances, one of the things that happened when I was at the pro day at Colorado, towards the end, there was a very lengthy conversation that Sean Payton was having with Shedeur Sanders. Very lengthy conversation. Man, what a fucking coach. But he then had a conversation with it was Josina Anderson, and I was just kind of floating because I wanted to just introduce myself to Sean. Sean, when Sean was the head coach of the Saints, he knew who we were. I'll just keep it at that. He knew who we were. But I wanted to formally introduce myself to him, and I was just kind of floating. But the story, I heard it, and I was like, man, I don't want to be in the background. Like I'm just gonna stand right next to Sean and just listen to the fucking story, bro. Like I'm here. Like what the fuck ever, right? And he's telling Josina Anderson this story, and it's in. I don't want to try to recreate it or retell it, but basically, it's just about the importance of putting the value on a player and just trying to find the right player. He gives this great analogy of like when like if you have when you're a sibling and you have a parent that passes away and you're going through their things and you have to you go you kind of split up their belongings of who you keep things and certain siblings keep things, and then the things that you don't keep you'll give it to Goodwill and what have you. And then all that story, then it kind of just he tied it back into how it just, when you're a football team, you're trying to find the right players. And he said that he got that kind of analogy from Ron Wolf. And I'm listening, I'm here, standing right here, Wolf, right next to Sean Payton, telling this story about trying to find the right players. And then part of me, I was like, man, and like the Saints fan in my head was like, damn, did y'all thinking about this when y'all was drafting Marcus Davenport and Peyton Turner? But
Zach Bond.
whoa, Zach Bond was a hit, nigga. Whoa. But
He wasn't a fit though, obviously.
but I'm just there and I'm just taking it all in and just hearing the words and just hanging on every word he was saying of just how brilliant of a football mind he is, and just almost and just like, man, this is fucking crazy. Like it's crazy that I'm here. It's crazy that all this is happening, and at the end, like he, introduced myself. I dap up Sean Payton. He fucking leaves. He acts like he didn't know who I was when he actually 100% knew who I was. And I even made a tweet about it, of that not taking it for granted. And going back to 2012, you had Aaron Nagler and you had Matt Miller on Twitter watching a Jags and Colts Thursday night football game.
Oh, Jags and Titans. One of them.
Titans, it was an AFC South Thursday night football game. Getting paid for football and just complaining about it. And me then and me now, like I'm still the same person of like it's a privilege. Like this like of all things to fucking complain about, like you are covering a game.
Right.
It's a game. Oh yeah, Mark. It's very sickle memory. It infuriated me so much in that moment that these two people who were getting paid to cover football were complaining about covering football. Complaining about it. And then so it all goes back to never taking those moments for granted. And what Ryan and I have built in these 5 years, we don't take these moments for granted. When Wolf and I are at the fucking Senior Bowl and Mike Tomlin is right next to us and Ozzie Newsome is behind us as we're walking down to the fucking field. Like what? Like
none of it for granted, man.
Of it for granted. Someone in the chat said, if I was standing next to Sean Payton, I would ask him, why did he quit on the Who Dat Nation? Nigga, he was tired of Mickey Loomis. Are you not tired of Mickey Loomis? Like, what are you doing? And do you think in that moment, me standing next to Sean Payton?
So why'd you leave the Who Dat Nation?
Hey Sean, why'd you quit on the Saints, nigga? How do you think that question would have went?
Get this motherfucker out of here.
Come on, bro. Like, there's a time and a place. Now, if we got Sean on the pod, then that's a different story.
Different story, yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that right as I'm standing right next to him, and I haven't even introduced myself to that man. Why'd you quit? Why'd you quit on this? I did want to ask him though, and I said in our Discord, I'd be like, Sean, do you ever feel like, like with the Broncos, you kind of in that new marriage and everything that you didn't do right in the first marriage, you're doing right in your new marriage. I do. So like maybe I wouldn't have worded it right, because it's just how you word things, right? It's just how you word things a little bit. I
wanted to ask him about Shedeur. Like I wonder what he thinks. Like literally thinks.
I wanted to ask him. Part of me wanted to ask him if the Saints were to draft Shedeur, what does Shedeur need to be successful to be a successful quarterback in New Orleans? What better person to ask?
Real.
And I wanted to get it on camera, but he was literally just about to leave. He literally was just about to leave, and I wasn't gonna do that to him. So this is a great question. Michael Morgan. Why are so many Saints fans negative about drafting Shedeur Sanders like we have a quarterback? Great question, Michael Morgan. Okay, I'm gonna give you two reasons. One reason is just the racism component of it. We're just being real with it. Like you're not gonna come to the SPP podcast. We're not gonna address the fucking elephant in the room. He's a confident, may come out across as a brash young black man who comes from money. And he is a very sure and aware of himself. And what Southern state is that going to appeal to?
Not one.
I'm from Texas. He's from Louisiana. What Southern state is that going to appeal to? A black man that has confidence and does not care what other people think, even if they happen to be white. Who is that going to appeal to?
You know they rub people wrong way. You know it. Come on now.
There were things that he said in the pressure that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, Ryan.
I know. I know. So
Someone,
imagine if you already racist.
bro, someone asked him about like his dad signing getting that contract extension with Colorado about blah 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 blah, and his response literally was, "I'm just waiting on my cut." He said, as soon as he signed the contract, I'm just waiting on my cut of what my cut and my percentage is gonna be. And I'm there, and I'm like, did this nigga just say that? Right? Like, nigga, right here in front of all the hoes? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's who he is.
I got a podcast, bro. You got a whole podcast. So yes, that's definitely one reason. I mean, look, it's the same. There was a contingent that couldn't stand Jameis Winston when he was playing. The same contingent couldn't stand Aaron Brooks back in the day. It's Louisiana, bro. Like
everybody loved Teddy. Everybody loved Teddy though.
Oh, Teddy. Oh, good old Teddy. That's a good Negro right there.
Oh boy. See the way he smiles? He just smiles nice.
Smiling. Nah, they always gonna have that contention out there in Louisiana, bro. That whole little contingent. You know, we see them out there. You know what the pictures look like. You know what the avatars look like. You know, you could just look at the comments and
yes,
because it's not like because you could have great legitimate criticisms of Shedeur. We have them literally on this podcast. We
absolutely
we laid it all out. But those criticisms are never what you see with them.
No,
it's
no.
Just, I hate the way he looked at it.
Yeah. So I think so, Michael. I think that's part of it. And I think another part of it. Yeah, I think another part of it too. Speaking to the football reasons, is if I told you at 9 overall, that you're drafting the quarterback, and that quarterback is prime Andy Dalton with swagger. Shout out to our dude Greg Rosenthal with that perfect analogy, or someone like Brock Purdy,
Jimmy Garoppolo,
like that. Like
people
like at 9, people be like, who
else on the board?
I get it. I get it, bro. I 100% get it. So that's the other part of it, and it's in for people who feel that way. The latter part of it, you could argue is valid. But then the other part of it is like, if you could tell the Saints that they were drafting prime Andy Dalton at 9, prime. I'm talking prime Cincinnati Andy Dalton at 9. Would they take it? Yeah, they take it. Or this is probably I've never really heard this comp, but this is probably a really good comp too. It's like take the great part of like Alex Smith, but then just take away all his athleticism.
Yeah, take away like that the running ability and the athleticism. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, like,
right.
Went number 1 overall.
That went number 1 overall, but a lot of that went over and overall because he was like a prime athlete when he was coming out of Utah. Like it just people are just gonna be like, I don't know if that's really. That's part of it. So. LP in the chat said it's worse on Facebook. I wouldn't know, bro. I haven't been on Facebook since. I deleted my Facebook in 2016. But he said I
don't even look at Saints takes on Facebook, bro.
He said I flat out saw a comment from a white man on Facebook saying, "quote unquote, we don't want that nigga." Woo! The Saints draft Shedeur at 9, bro. The streets gonna be hot, bro.
Because honestly, it's balanced by like the extreme hype that would be behind.
What did Thanos say, bro? Perfectly balanced. As all things should be.
I'll be sitting there like just looking at I'm just like because one side is like, even I don't want him on the team. Why would you even draft him? And the other side is like, man, he was the coldest QB in college, boy. Like,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
like I'm seeing it. Like, look at the stats. It's like it's college, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, he completed, the highest percentage of passes. Yes, he's accurate. He is accurate. Kelly Moore was like the most accurate college quarterback ever, and he's not. He wasn't a thing in the league at all. He had to become a coach. Like that. Those stats don't mean anything to me. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean anything. But like everybody just got to have like this extreme take, man. Like, it's so polarizing, such a polarizing pros. The juxtaposition of him as a player, just purely as a player, on tape, versus the polarization of him. That juxtaposition is just crazy
It don't add up, bro.
because the player is like literally like not to be a diss, but like a boring player. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a pocket
Yes,
passer, with no elite traits. That's what
I
he
think
is.
his mind.
He's
I would
not.
give him.
I'm just saying physically, no
Yes,
physical elite
yes, yes,
traits.
yes,
You know,
yes.
but the polarization is just like, oh my god, it's like so far this way and it's so far the other way, and it's just crazy to watch that. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be like that. And part of that is because look, he brings a lot to the table as far as the brand. He comes from Deion Sanders, somebody who understands branding and marketing at a whole different level. Like this dude came into the league, Brandon. He grew up with that. He grew under that under Dion, and he's doing the same thing himself. Got his own podcast, got music, TV shows. I was on YouTube just pretty much personality scouting last night. This dude on YouTube going back when he was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's been in front of the camera. So this is like a completely different situation you bring in that your normal college prospect that's coming in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if did Adam leave?
No, I didn't leave, but my camera died on me
Oh,
unexpectedly, so I'm just trying to get to work.
Adam Cameron, he getting it to work. So yeah, it's just it's an interesting. It's I can't wait till the draft is here, just so we can get answers. Um, but it's just looking like he's gonna be there at 9, man. Like I don't know what else to tell Saints fans. Like there's gonna be a decision that has to be made. There
So,
will have to be a decision,
so can
most
we? Okay,
likely.
yeah. So can we talk? All right. So that's what I want to talk about. I had to plug in my camera. Um. So as of now, I'm only going to ask my. I'm gonna wait for Ryan to finish smoking because I do want to put this on TikTok.
Okay.
I'm only going to ask my sources once. Not going to ask them again. And if you know me, if you've been following our podcast for a while, the week of the draft, I put myself on a Saints sabbatical. I tell my friend, do not tell me anything Saints related this week, or at least until Thursday. When Friday comes, or wait, yeah, when Friday comes, go crazy. But like Thursday, don't tell me shit, because when we're at the draft party, I want that reaction. I want that reaction to be pure and organic. So the only time I asked my friend what they felt the Saints would do was today. And they felt it's one, Saints board still not finalized. The Saints draft board is still not finalized. And people, if it's going to keep going out, it's fine. And people are like, why? One, it's probably not super surprising that their board's still not finalized. But two, as Ryan had already indicated, Kellen, like they got started later than any team in terms of the hiring cycle. So they're still tweaking, they're still doing their horizontal alignment, vertical aligning, all that. So that's still happening. They said as of right now, it's early. It's early, but as of right now, if they were to guess, they would guess that the pick would be Shedeur. However, however, there's oh, a push buzz, and it's funny because we literally just talked about this yesterday. Literally talked about this yesterday on our podcast. That if there's a player that falls to 9, that so let's say they didn't say who, but if there's a Mason Graham, if there's a Tyler Warren, let's say both Mason Graham, Tyler Warren, and Tet and Shedeur are all there at 9, bro. Which is a possibility. Maybe.
Very much.
Then it becomes this conversation of, all right, how about we get the best player on our board, which probably I would guess at that point would be Mason Graham potentially, but whoever the best player is on our board, and then let's then work the phones on trying to come back later in the draft and add a quarterback, whether that be Shedeur, whether that be Jackson Dart, or whether that be Jalen Milroe.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
I don't know. So then the conversation becomes like Shedeur at 9 and Mason Taylor or Quinshon Judkins at 40 versus I don't know Mason Graham or Tyler Warren at 9, and then you trying to then come up and get a quarterback. It's funny because it feels like they're potentially, if they go the second route, they're trying to recreate 2022 and take out Penning and just add a quarterback instead of Penning.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And I also feel like they're not trying to give up next year's first round pick, so they're trying to use 40. It would be 40 and some change. They couldn't just do it with 40 alone. But
yeah, it'll be 40 plus 2026 second rounder and a third maybe.
Probably,
plus
yeah.
Stuff this year.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it'll be a package of picks. But they want to eat the cake, want the cake and eat it too. And they're battling their draft grade. Because if you look at Shedeur, Dart, and those guys,
that's what it is.
Those are second round grades. So they're struggling like, man, we want a quarterback, but
there it is.
Damn, we got this top 10 rated prospect right here. We're going to pass this up to go get a second round rated quarterback. So they're going to try to game the system. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to game the system. That's a risk, though.
It's a risk, man.
Especially if you really like the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? If you really like the quarterback.
To me, listen, man, I understand it. And this is my assessment and my opinions of the players. But the only player that's worth that risk is Mason Graham. I wouldn't try to make that risk for Tyler Warren. I'm not trying to make that risk for Roy McMillan. If Mason Graham's there at 9, I understand it. I understand the risk 100%. Because I'm like, if it's me, I'm like, okay, if I could get my quarterback at 9 and then at 40 I could get Mason Taylor, or I could get Arroyo or Harold Fanning, or potentially someone of that ilk. Or if I can't get a tight end, but it's like you said it perfectly. They're battling the draft grade. That's really what it boils down to, bro. Because if it was like a Michael Penix in this draft, Michael Penix wouldn't fall to 9. He would go probably like the 2 or the 3 or whatever. Right. But it really feels like this team is battling the draft grade, and it's like, is it Jeff Ireland who's kind of is coming hard and saying like, right. That's really the fascinating part of it.
Right. Very fascinating. And it probably is. It probably is Jeff Ireland. Like, look, maybe I don't know, because
I don't
Jeff
know, man.
Ireland could be like, man, look, let's go get our guy. It could be Mickey. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mickey don't care about giving up picks. Uh, and honestly, I'm fine with either route. Um, I've already laid my bed with the quarterback decision. Like, Shedeur at 9, Dart at 9. You know what I'm saying? I've had my qualms about Dart, but either one. Like, if they made that move at 9, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready to turn the page on the quarterback.
Are you ready for Jalen Milroe at 18 or 19? No.
I would love it. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be hyped, bro. Like, it's risky, boy. That's like pushing your chip. That's some risk. But like me, I love the nuts of that. Like, that takes nuts. Like,
Ooh,
that move
that
would be
balls, bruh.
that's the balls right
Balls.
there. So I love
Balls.
it. I'll be riding. I'm gonna be on Twitter fighting everybody. Fuck that. Like, yeah, we got Milrow. Let's make it happen.
Man, I stand by it. I I watched so much of him on that flight back from Dallas. His good, his good. You could argue his good is either on par with Cam Wars or exceeds Cam Wars when he's on.
When he on like that Georgia game, bro, it's good. It's good, bro. When it's good.
Whoo.
And look, it's not
It's
good
not.
enough. That's why
It's
he's not a
not.
first round pick.
Oh,
Well, it's
the,
not why he's a first round grade. Put it like that.
right. But it's the him getting that draft invitation.
Oh, he got an invite?
Oh, you missed that? It came out yesterday. He got an invite. Oh yeah, he going first round, bro.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that changes things.
Because only 12. I think like only 12 invites are going out.
Yeah, nah,
They
that's that.
NFL,
They're not about to have him sitting there just.
nope, nope. So when that came or when no, that came out either yesterday or the day before, and so when that came out, the my friend's first inkling was the Steelers at 21.
Right, that's the first thing that popped in my head.
So the Saints, if they want to play this game where they go BP at 9, that isn't quarterback, they essentially need to be prepared to I got to
40, from 40 to above 21.
like 18 or 19. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. So you gotta be willing to call Arizona, Cincinnati, because if you love Dart, because they I know they like Dart too, and I think everyone's kind of penciling in Colston, Loveland, or offensive lineman at 18 for Dart. I still think it's a chance that Seattle might go Dart. They're picking 18. So if you really want Dart or you want Milrow, you comfortably need to get to either 16 or 17. That means you got to go from 40 to 16 or 17.
You got to give up a first.
Got to.
Got to.
Got
Ain't
to.
no way.
There's no way. Unless Seattle passes on Dart and unless the Rams pass on Dart. Because then you can maybe trade in with at the bottom of the first half and get him.
But look, that's the risk you playing when you play that game, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's like, to me, that's why it's just like, if he's there, if Shedeur's there at 9, without playing this like cat and mouse game, like blah, 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 just take him at 9, and then you still have your full bevy of picks.
Full bevy of picks. Go get Mason Taylor at 40 or
40 or running back
go get a running back, go get Junkins or somebody.
It don't even got to be an offensive player. You can get Carson Swirly from UCLA, bro. Like that's I would love to know who in the building is like for taking Shedeur at 9, and like who potentially in the building is like, let's maybe go BPA at 9 and try to come back in the draft and get a quarterback later. Because they want a quarterback, and they want a quarterback in round 1. But it's a
Wonder what
steep.
Coach Teef's. Wonder what Teef's saying. Teef's saying that smiling. Man, let's go get Shedeur. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Teef's thinking.
We'd love to know. We'd love to
He
know.
could love Dart. Could love Miro. He could be look. He could be the one looking at Miro like, man, give me that.
Right?
Give me that Miro. Go
Um,
win something. Look at me. The game has changed. We running the ball now, baby.
let me catch up on the chat a little bit. Everyone's saying trade down and get Milrow and more picks. That would be crazy good. They don't want to do that though, Jack. They don't want to. They either want to draft a quarterback at 9, potentially Shedeur, or they want to draft BPA
All right.
and,
Get
and
like
come
a
back and come back and
highly
get
rated player. Yeah.
a quarterback. Like they literally did this in 2022, except they drafted a left tackle instead of a quarterback, which I mean, Kenny Pickett didn't end up being a good player. Like they want to essentially do they either want the quarterback at 9, or they want a good their BPA and a quarterback later in the draft. Eric Martinez asks, "Are we 100% off Quinn? Are you referring to yours? I'm not, but
I think the
it see,
Saints like him.
I, I, feels like the Saints like him quite a bit." Um, let's see. AK Cartier said, "It'll be so dumb to jeopardize future picks, though, if a quarterback falls to you at 9 without having to trade current picks or future ones. Take the quarterback and build the rest of the draft." You would think so. Like you would think like that's just the easy thing, but you have
Right.
to realize when you're dealing with NFL teams when they have these draft grades, those draft grades mean like it's their holy grail and it's their
It's
Bible.
like it's like a principle. You know what I'm saying? It's like a principle you live by. And it's just like I got a second round grade on this guy. I got to take him at 9. Oh, it's like pains. Oh,
AK Cartier made a good point. He said, "Man, if you trade up to 16, Shedeur might still be there too. He absolutely might, bro.
that would be. I mean,
Could
definitely
that be?
possible.
Could you? Wouldn't that be crazy if they went like Mason Graham at 9, or let's say Tyler Warren at 9, passed on Shedeur, and then traded 40, and it would have to be next year's first. It would have to be next year's first. There's no way they would get out of it without next year's first. Traded 40 in next year's first to move up to 16 with the Cardinals and drafted Shedeur at 16.
Mm. Yeah. For some reason, that 40 pick is like my pick. That's my baby right there. I just want to keep 40, bro. But I would I would quickly, like, okay, but we got our quarterback. I'd be like, okay, we good, we good, we good. Man, I want my 40, bro. I want my 40. They're going to be some players at 40, Adam.
Because
God.
I would just say like if you drafting Tyler Warren at 9 and Shedeur at 16, I would just rather just fucking take Shedeur at 9 and Mason Taylor or someone else at 40. Like it
Right.
just because then like it just seems like hustling back. It just seems like hustling
It's
backwards
hustling backwards, bro.
because then you're giving up future assets. It's just like you could. It's the draft grade. It's the draft grade, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's like, this team's still not good, man. Like, you know, hey, that pick might be like pick 15 next year. It could be top 5, man. Like, I'd rather, get your door right there at 9. Boom. Say you were kind of ass this year, you're picking top 8 next year. And you can go get a doggish player to, build around your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's a tackle, somebody on defense, or wide receiver. One of them wide receivers might be coming out, you know? Oh, man.
It just the smart part of me feels like the smart thing would just be to take Shedeur at 9 and then just build the rest of your team with the rest of the
Just,
draft picks.
just take them. Just take them, bro. Just take 'em. Oh, just take them, bro. And, all this trading up and shit, man. Like, I was putting up stats today in the Discord. I was just running some numbers. Just how little contribution the Saints have gotten out of their draft classes. Like,
Bro,
it's
ass.
unreal. Because not only do the Saints draft the least amount of players because they give away picks like crazy, but they get little contribution from the players they do draft. So it's like a double whammy. You know what I'm saying?
Kendrick Miller's not contributing nothing.
And if you look at my stats, it's kind of misleading because it's being boosted by guys like Caden Ellis and Zach
Oh,
Bond and guys
oh,
like that. But
oh.
those boosts are coming from other
Well,
teams.
so
Like so, their hits they hit on the right players, but
Boston
we didn't get
Scott,
the contribution. Boston Scott. It's like
CD Deuce.
so. It's like it goes back to the draft, man. Everything people complain about the salary cap. You know where the team is right now. Last more he was on a podcast with Ross Jackson and John Hendricks and all that, and he was spitting, bro. He was talking about how it's hard for him to just look at the Saints today, bro. You know, like he's looking at Mickey Loomis like this is the product y'all putting out. You know, like he talked about like I could take you know either being really good or being like bad, but this kind of like fighting to win the division. He was spitting, bro. I was like, Lance, my dude. That's what I'm talking about. And this is a former player. He talking about how this is the organization he loves. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a fan, former player, a fan of this team. And to see it like that, you just had Teron Armstead hang up the cleats the other day. You know, I saw the video. Breeze up there. He's still talking about the Saints. Like, brother, the cloth, all that's coming from, man. Like, we got to get that back, bro. Like, we got to get that back. All this pussyfooting around, trying to go 8-9. Come on now, man. Let's get back to winning. Winning.
Winning, bro. Winning. Winning. Simple as that, man. Um, we'll wrap this up. We just want to get on here and talk it out a little bit. Just so fans have an idea as we wrap this up, if you, it, uh, there's a high probability, if you, as of right now, things change all the time. There's a high probability that the Saints will draft Shedeur Sanders if he's there at 9, but they also might try to walk a tightrope and have their cake and eat it too, and go BPA and try to trade back in the first round and draft
Live for the day, bro.
another.
They be like, we'll figure out 2026 later.
Later. draft Shedeur if he continues to fall. Draft Milrow. Draft Jackson Dart. It's just
Stay in the QB business, baby.
Just how this team operates. I want you to give me your percentage. Give me your percentage of you think the team ends up with Shedeur.
Ooh, the way I'm feeling today, I feel like I'm like 78% that they go Shedeur, bro.
Yeah, I'm at a 70. I'm 70.
So pretty much like 7 out of 10 chance. Like
Yeah.
they going with Shedeur. I really feel that way. But the apprehension in me is one, does another team slip up there try to get him? I don't think so.
Nah.
But another is, man, I just don't believe the Saints. I gotta see it to believe it. The Saints taking a quarterback in the first round. I gotta see it, bro. I gotta see it to believe it, man, because I have not seen that in my lifetime. And and plus it's just, I don't know, just the whole draft grade thing and stuff like that. I don't know. But I also know Dion sending out them big head texts with I like this black and gold and all that. Man, listen, that means something, bro. I'm telling you,
Yes,
that shit means something.
it does. It absolutely does. Trying to, he wants his son not to have a free fall in the draft.
That's
and
it.
He knows his son's floor is new. Like, and this is not no disrespect to like Ross because he said like he saw it as Dion trying to get someone to trade up. Nah, man. Dion knows is that if his son doesn't go to 9, that's a long way down.
It could be a long drop. Through the Dolphins? Do the Dolphins consider it?
It's funny. Adam Schefter
13?
had talked about that as a
That's who
potential
gave me the idea.
possibility.
That's where I got the idea. I was like, oh, I didn't think of that. I wouldn't think so, but
I wouldn't think so, but who knows, bro? Brandon
funny how
Reed said it.
everybody tries to give the Dolphins like a little weak arm quarterback just because they
Everybody,
got
bro.
to it.
Brandon Reed said if we draft Shedeur, that'll be the talk of the whole summer.
Who?
One thing I keep saying, you posted in our Discord. You saw what those ticket sales were for the Saints? Was
Oh,
what, $43?
Saints bottom, the bottom of the league.
Um, and I know they're not going to draft based off PR because we know the
No,
Saints don't do PR.
they don't do PR at all.
Greg Benzel still got a job. Um, but you can't tell me that the thought of them drafting Shedeur and the mostly positive PR that would come from it doesn't play a factor in their mind 1%.
Come on now. Of course it does. It's a business, man. It's big business. Are you kidding me? The most famous players. Come on now, man. Especially for a team that's dead.
God, God damn it,
Who is it?
Jake. Jake said they only do PR for the fucking Catholic Church. Then he said, never mind.
Man, get me started. But look, I mean, you talking about a team that's dead in the water right now, bro. Dead.
Yeah.
Nobody talking about the Saints, bro. And you get
Except-
do up in here?
Except this.
Yeah.
The only
Except
thing
this.
that they're talking about the Saints in any kind of capacity is this right now.
That's it. That's it, baby.
You take Shedeur out of the equation, falling to the Saints, they become a backstory page again.
Back page story, baby.
The traders playbook $1.99 super chat. Appreciate you. Shedeur is New Orleans energy. He fits into the city 100%. He does. The Sauce Store LLC. I think Shedeur will be better than Dalton, but Prime Dalton was pretty good. Yeah, like people like I'm not like the Dalton thing isn't like a slight. Like I think people underrate how good Dalton was back then, just because like he didn't win those Bengal teams didn't win a playoff game.
Also, like people, there's one thing that drives me about comps. It's like realize no, we're not saying this is gonna be copy and paste. Like copy this guy and paste. We're just talking about stylistically. Impact.
Stylistically,
It's like this would be a Andy Dalton style quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Not saying they're gonna have the same career and all that stuff. You know, like that's the style. It's the style you're gonna get. You know.
and another point with Shedeur, speaking of Andy Dalton, is that if you draft a player like Shedeur, not saying that not all quarterbacks in the NFL aren't like this because they are, but like when you draft a quarterback like Shedeur, you have to flood that quarterback with talent. So
Yes.
that's another reason why I'm like, if they thinking of like, oh, do we do it at 9 or do we do it? If you drafting him at 9, man, or potentially if that's in your mindset, you gotta take him at 9, and then you at 40, you gotta get him a running back, you gotta get him an offensive lineman, you gotta get him a tight end, and then in
receiver.
73, like you have to surround him with talent because that's just the type of quarterback that he is. That's not a slight on him. That's just how he wins. That's how he wins. That's how Andy Dalton won. 2015, that season where Andy Dalton looked like an MVP, AJ Green, Tyler Eifert, Corey Dillon, maybe? I don't know who the running back was. Rudy Johnson? Oh my God, I'm a sicko. He had talent around him. And all Andy Dalton had to be, point guard. Be accurate with the ball, on time, be the point guard. And if the Saints are thinking about drafting Shedeur, then that's what his role needs. Like that's what his role needs to be. Like he needs to be the point guard. The interesting thing though is that they do draft Shedeur, is how long Derek Carr stays on the team if that pick is Shedeur.
That's what I want to know. I feel like after June 1st, he getting up out of there, bro.
I said it in the Discord, bro. I need, you know how like the draft prospects, got the cameras and them, bro. I need a camera in Derek Carr's house. Like he's a draft prospect, nigga.
Gotta catch him coming outside, getting his newspaper.
I need the camera in it to get his reaction when a pick comes in. If the pick is Shedeur, bro, I need his live reaction to it, bro.
Oh, I need it, bro.
Need it. Someone, Brandon said, if we draft Shedeur, we have to move on from Carr this offseason. Pretty, which is funny because like I feel like if they drafted Shedeur, they 100% would, but if they drafted like a Jackson Dart, I feel like they would keep Derek Carr.
They keep Derek Carr, yeah.
For like six, like he'd be with the team for like the rest of this season for sure.
Yeah. I just don't feel like they can coexist.
No, buddy. Nobody.
I don't see it.
Nobody.
I could be wrong. I just don't see it.
Anyway, we wanted to get this one out there. Wanted to kind of share with people right now, the thoughts that are working in the Saints' mindset of their draft plans. Obviously, things can change, but we'll see. We're what 27 now. Can't even do the math. Days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, away from the draft. Gonna be exciting. I will say this though: if the Saints do draft a quarterback, whether it's at 9 or later in the first round during our draft party, it's gonna be a movie, bro.
Movie.
It's gonna be a. Thank you, the Traders Playbook. $1.99 super chat. He said that Loomis at least owes us Shedeur for DA and Carr. Something. We leaving with something.
Bro. Leave with something.
Anyhow, we will be back on hopefully Thursday. We got to confirm it to see if our dude Tony Pauline will be able to join us on Thursday. Talk more draft stuff, other stuff more than just quarterback. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back hopefully on Thursday, doing more draft stuff. And with that, we are out.
Peace.
Yeah, I don't know why my camera's acting like that. Maybe I left it on.
USB cord, maybe.